So I had a homeowner call me once and says, I need help with my remodeled. Basically, I went over his place and he had already started the project with another contractor. But the minute that I walked into the house, I could already tell that that other contractor didn't have much experience and was not managing the project properly because the project was very disorganized. Everything was all over the place. And the stuff that they have done so far didn't seem right. Was not like in the right sequence, because in construction, there's a sequence of how you do things. So what happened with this clients, this homeowner, is that he hired somebody and then that person had walked away from the job. He had paid him all this money already, like 50% deposit. They did the demolition, they did some rough work, but they basically left town. They were not managing the project, people were not showing up. So we came in there and we did a change of contractor, which happens a lot more than it should be. And the reason that happened was because he did not hire the right person at the beginning. He made a mistake. So I'm here to tell you and give you a few tips on how you could avoid that if you're going to hire somebody, if you're going to hire a contractor, because you do not want to be the next sad story about hiring the wrong person and then they leave away with your money. So tip number one, before you hire somebody, before you hire anybody, before you start calling people, make sure that you know what you want. Make sure that you have at least an idea, like some inspirational pictures of some idea of what you want, because it's important for you to be clear on what is it that you want and what your expectations are. Number two, make sure you have a rough budget in mind. Make sure that your budget is within the range on what you want to spend. You could Google, how much does it cost to do this in my neighborhood? You could call a few people on the phone and just ask them for a ballpark estimate how much the things are costing you before you start the process. Another tip is once you do that, you have that, make sure you call a few people, but make sure you verify with the people how many years of experience they have, but not just that they have, but how many years they have experience with your type of project. You see, as a general contractor, you could do a lot of different things, but you have to be specific on what is it that you're doing. As a general contractor, you could be a window contractor, you could be a floor contractor, but if you need somebody to manage the whole project from beginning to end, you need like a specialized, somebody that knows the whole system, how to run a project successfully, what comes first, what comes next. So it's very important that you ask what experience they have, how many years of experience they have, and with what type of projects. Another thing you may want to ask is, are they licensed and who is the qualifier? This is very important. A lot of people use other people's license. So you want to make sure that the people, the company, the person you're talking to, or at least the qualified, you get to speak to him, because if you get to speak to him, they use somebody's license, they have no liability. They could pretty much run away with your money. Another thing too you want to ask is, what is the process and systems? Like, how do they manage the project? And let them explain to you, do they have a process? Do they have a system? Can they show you some kind of schedule that they do all the projects? How do they guarantee that they're going to manage the project well? And then if they don't know how to answer that, well, that's a sign that maybe they don't have the right experience that you're looking for. But you really want to ask these questions, not just look at the pictures. And obviously you definitely want to look at the reviews. Make sure, you go to Google, make sure you call previous clients with the same scope of work. So by following these tips, this is going to help you avoid, and there's obviously many more tips, but these are just a few tips that are going to help you avoid hiring the wrong contractor that potentially could run over your money, and then you're going to have to do a change of contractor, and it's going to cost you a lot more as the second time around. So take these tips so you don't be the next victim. Now, a lot of people ask me, can you help me with that? Absolutely. So my company, Cutting Edge Miami, Cutting Edge Home Improvement, we actually help homeowners through the whole entire process. And we're experts. I repeat, we're experts at home remodeling or condo remodeling or additions. So we could definitely help you with that if you want that help. And you could visit our website at homeremodelmiami.com. That's homeremodelmiami.com. So just make sure that you do call and hire the right people before you're the next victim. Can't stop, won't stop. Let's go. Hope this tips help.